Sometimes, even the weather complicates life on the front line. Due to the rains, the ground becomes muddy and turns into a swamp. This brings additional moral discomfort to the soldiers. It is especially difficult when water appears in the trenches. Heavy armored vehicles cannot pass through the dirt roads. These roads become an additional challenge for the soldiers. Mud complicates logistics and takes away precious time. As you know, armored vehicles like firm ground. Only then can the army advance quickly and successfully. The Ukrainian command consults every few days on the need to hold Bakhmut. The effectiveness ratio is currently in favor of Ukraine. This means that the enemy is suffering much more losses here than Ukraine. Bakhmut buys time while the main forces of the Ukrainian army prepare for a major counteroffensive. In these video footage, you can see the presumed use of the American high-precision bomb, JDAM, in the Bakhmut city. Several videos have leaked online confirming this, and if it is true, the Russians should definitely worry. The JDAM bomb is dropped from an aircraft and can fly up to 40 miles, hitting the target precisely and causing significant damage to enemy structures. See, for example, how the Americans bombed JDAM in Afghanistan. A small village was wiped off the face of the earth. When the Ukrainian army goes on the counteroffensive, the Russians' fortified positions will also be swept away by this massive fire. Putin needs some kind of victory. Russians hope to capture the city of Bakhmut with great persistence and sacrifices to demonstrate to the world at least some combat capability of the Russian army. But even if the Russians capture the city, it will not bring them any benefit. The fate of this war will soon be decided by the Ukrainian counteroffensive, which we all look forward to. However, to be objective, it must be acknowledged that the Russians also managed to inflict painful losses on the Ukrainian forces. For example, the Russians found and destroyed a Ukrainian Tu-S1 artillery system along with its ammunition. Ukrainian army also suffers significant losses from Russian kamikaze drones like the Lancet. Here's an instance where such a drone destroys a Ukrainian S-300 air defense complex. Here's another such case. These are very painful losses for the Ukrainians. And here, the Lancet destroys Ukrainian armored vehicles. The Lancet is also capable of destroying Ukrainian tanks. In this video, we can see how the Russians tracked a Ukrainian Grad multiple rocket launcher system and destroyed it using the same Lancet drone. Here's the destruction of a Western-made Ukrainian armored vehicle, and logistics vehicles as well. However, in response, the Ukrainians launch massive attacks using FPV drones, destroying even more Russian armored vehicles. I can make a video several hours long, showing the extensive losses of Russian military equipment from the strikes of Ukrainian army drones. The Russians know how dangerous these small Ukrainian drones are and fear them so much. As soon as they spot a Ukrainian drone nearby, they immediately abandon their armored vehicles and flee. The Ukrainian forces have also perfected their aerial reconnaissance on the battlefield. It involves a drone capable of dropping grenades. This weapon should not be underestimated. The drone can locate an ammunition depot and destroy it with just a single grenade. Moreover, the drones are capable of destroying a vast number of armored Russian vehicles. Perhaps no other weapon has destroyed as much armored machinery as the bomber drones. Nothing can compare to this weapon on the front lines of combat. The Russians do not know how to combat drones. They have no solution to this problem.